Welcome everybody. We're just getting started. Tommy boy, welcome back. Gina, welcome. Let's give everybody a minute to get here, get settled in, and we'll fire up momentarily. Thanks to everybody for joining in so late. I know we used to start earlier, but schedules. All right, welcome everybody. I'm J Mac, and welcome to Bigfoot Input Live. Tommy boy, I'm glad you're here. I'm gonna talk about your picture tonight. Actually, it's definitely something that I find interesting. So has everybody seen this picture already? Try to get as clear as possible, but well, Tommy, that's the rumor. That's what people are saying. There's so much being said about this picture, or these pictures, the two, that I'm actually considering going back and doing a video just on these two. Which I may do that tomorrow. Hello, Bill. Welcome. It's the Connor guy. Hello. So, here's the deal, guys. So, there's two pictures, two of these. And we originally put out one, let me scroll and see if I have it. That would be the thing to do if you're a good YouTube channel. We're doing what we can do. I don't have it. I don't have it on me. Anyway, so there was two of these pictures, and wait. Oh wait, I went the wrong way. This is the other one. This is the other guy. Mr. Midwest, thank you, sir. Good to see you too. I really appreciate your generosity. Thank you. So here's the thing. So we released this picture first, right? And we were trying to figure out what was going on with the head on it. It looked kind of funny, like maybe he was wearing goggles or something. We didn't know what was going on. But that was the first one. So then actually it was Tommy Boy, I think, that said, "Hey man, do you know that there's two pictures of that same kind?" And I did not know that, so he sent me these. Come on, you. Yeah, he sent me this guy, right? So, I'll consider getting into they're two different creatures discussion, and I might get into a video on it. I don't know. But here's the thing. Nothing can fix, and I don't even know if it shows up very well on the live right now, but nothing can fix this straight line that goes across here which is obviously, Tommy Boy, thank you so much. I really appreciate all the donations, guys. It obviously, it just helps us build and grow, and I thank you for that. Stick around, Tommy. This is not the picture that I was talking about. I want to talk about the pictures that you sent me. But anyway, so nothing fixes this. This guy is wearing pants. Even after I pointed this out in the video, still got people arguing with me. Still got people saying, no, you're wrong. I'm like, he's wearing pants. Look at this. Forget the pants line, okay? Just forget that. Look at this. You see my cursor? You see that right there? I don't know what the hell that is. But it's like, it's almost like the AI or something messed up, or the Photoshop messed up, or the pants are too big or something. There's something sticking out on the side of this creature here that is associated with this pant line. Bill, we checked the arm length. The arm length does match the leg length. So that sucks because it kind of smacks our argument in the face. But this to me just can't be reasoned away. Mr. Midwest, God, thank you. Taking the words out of my mouth. Dude, I like Thinker Thunker too, but there is nothing that says that that is the gospel. You know, and even Thinker Thunker will tell you that. He said that, look, all I'm doing is saying that on Patty, which we all consider to be real, the arms are the same length as the legs. Every human he's ever measured, the arms are shorter than the legs. So, you know, yeah, it definitely leans that way, and it's a good piece of evidence to put on the pile. But no, it's not a verdict. Yomar, let's see. Estoy tratando de aprehender español, but I am not near that good. So, sorry, buddy. Yeah, I'm gonna. Do you guys remember the owl picture? The one that I literally had to go and make a whole video on because I was getting just beat up in the comments about me being wrong. I'm gonna have to do that with these pictures. I'm gonna have to go back tomorrow and make a whole video just on these pictures so we can dissect them. Patrick, maybe so. Maybe he did just that. He just took out one of his enemies and they wear their bottoms as trophies of their victory. Yeah, you're right, Bill. I mean, it's just, it's a pants line. And I'm, like I say, hey, listen, the thing is, I get it. It broke my heart too. I don't enjoy doing that. I don't enjoy going, oh shit, it's fake. You know, but sometimes, like, we're out here looking for the truth. Just like the whole the Silverton, Colorado Bigfoot thing. I'm not going to sit here and say, well, it could be real. No, this is why it is not. Or, yes, it's plausible. So this right here shows me that it is not. It's not plausible. That's a pants line right there. And I hate it. I don't like that. I looked at that picture. I was just as excited as everyone else. I was like, that's so cool. And there you go. And the truth is, which I should have known, I should have went back to my guts on that. But your chances are you're not going to catch a Sasquatch on a trail cam like this. That's really, and we know that, we really do. We already know this. So why all of a sudden we see this like amazing trail cam picture that catches this creature twice, and we're all like, yeah, that's cool. Look at that, and I fell for it too. I mean, I was on the train too, and then I started thinking about it. I was like, why in the hell would they ever? So far, they've proven not to want to be photographed like this. So there you go. Dennis, what are you asking me? Does it seem like for good as the photo is and as short as the fur is? Yeah, it is suspicious. And we can look back at the other one again. This is the other picture. Again, same creature. And then here's the thing. So like I could go and make another video tomorrow and we could rehash all this and stuff like that, but it's like do I want to waste that sort of time and effort on what we know is a fake? Right? But I'm kind of getting a little agitated by getting beat up in the comments. You know what I'm saying? It's just like when you know something is fake and you call it out, and then people just completely overlook what you're saying. They're like, no, the arm length and leg length. And I'm like, no, but look at the pants. The guy's wearing pants. But anyway, I digress. We're getting off on a rant. I feel like ranting. I'm sorry, guys. I'm not used to having this many people in the room. We have like 30 people, so if I miss your comment, just yell at me and say, hey, what about my comment? Something. Yeah, and like, Mr. Midwest, we don't fully understand why it is they avoid trail cams. They have their own reasoning. And I'm sure it has something to do with infrared light and the fact that they can see it like a beam. Imagine you have taped them, loosened them, and you can see infrared cameras. You don't just see the camera, you see the entire light, which would extend, I don't even know how long. I mean, I'm just going to guess 30 to 50 feet, right? So they see these things like laser beams just perched all over the forest. And they're like, well, I'm just going to avoid that, because could be dangerous. They don't know what the hell, so it's just like, yeah, I get it. We may retouch on this subject, but let's look at some other stuff. What's going on here? I like this picture. This is more the quality of picture that you should expect from a real Sasquatch sighting. I don't think I have to point at everyone. This was in last week's video, actually. But. I'm not sure to what point it's been proven, but I totally agree with you. I mean, they absolutely can see infrared light, in my opinion. I think that just comes along with the taped and lucidum, which they obviously have. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you guys ever tried to not even tried to, but like just snuck up on a squirrel or, it's like these creatures, you're in their house. They know exactly what you're doing at all times. Like, bears can smell you up to a mile away. A mile. They know you're there. So we don't really know exactly what traits the Sasquatch has, although we assume camouflage abilities and stuff like that. But they damn well know that you're there. And I don't think that we're going to be able to, fool them into into getting captured on a trail cam. Did anybody see the video? We put it out a couple weeks ago. The video of the Sasquatch hand that was playing with the infrared light, like it was running its hand back and forth through the light. It's a very cool video, and I had gotten, we talked about it in live a couple times, and someone had requested, well, can we see it? And I was like, yeah. And I totally forgot, so I did post it. So it went up like maybe a week ago. It's a very cool video if you haven't seen it. Like, welcome to everybody that's joined. We appreciate it. I'm not going to be able to catch up with everyone's names and comments and stuff, but thank you for joining us. Hey, Kathy, welcome. You made it. Bigfoot World is currently on location in the forests, the Ocala National Forest, doing their own research. Boots on the ground, but they stopped to join us here on live, so we appreciate that. You know, Mr. Midwest, you hear it all the time about how these people, they come in contact with the creature and they look them in the eye and they feel the intelligence. This is an understanding being. You know, like even gorillas, like they have dark eyes. But you can look into the face of a gorilla and you can tell that he understands, like he's sussing you out. But with the Sasquatch, a lot of some of them are being reported with dark eyes. Some of them are being reported with whites and irises and everything. So I don't know, you know, exactly what train to get on there, but either way, they're all being reported as, you know, this is an intelligent creature. Yeah, so I will tell you that a lot of pictures, unfortunately, YouTube, if you're new to this, YouTube does not offer a way for me to stream pictures during these live shows. So this is something that I personally came up with, which is basically just a cell phone filming a screen, which is my Google Chromebook thing, whatever, I don't know. So, unfortunately, the pictures are not as high quality as I would love them to be, but basically what we're seeing here is a big round head on the top, which leads down to shoulders 1 and 2. You've got eyeball 1, eyeball 2, and then there's definitely like a mouth thing going on here. This crisscross thing that's going on seems to be tree branches. So if we can just sort of imagine those away, you're going to clearly see this large face here. Yeah, I understand. Can you use StreamYards to live stream and show photos live? StreamYards. Thank you, Ghost Adventures. I will have to check that out because I've been on this thing now for about a year of always trying to better this live show and make it more, you know, interesting and interactive, but YouTube doesn't make it easy, you know. So it is what it is. Let's see what else we've got. Tommy boy, you know, I don't watch a lot. I assume you're talking about how to hunt. I don't watch a lot of his videos. I started like a long time ago, but I never really got a lot out of his videos, and they're always like, you know, an hour and a half, 2 hours long. I don't know. I mean, he has his audience, and I have mine. I get that, and I mean, no shade at all. But I just never really watched this stuff, you know. That's true, Cat. Animals do know. They know much more than we give them credit for. Yeah, so there's a guy, welcome Robert. There's a guy that is posting these pictures. He's new on the scene. He actually came out anonymous first because he didn't want to, like, I don't know, he was afraid of ridicule or whatever. So he has like tons of pictures that are similar quality to this, and I'm going to show you a couple more actually. But this one appears to be thermal. And I mean, we can make out things like the facial features are not great, but what is great is the conical shaped head, which is obviously up here. And then as you pull it up, you can clearly make out the chest, the pectoral muscles, large biceps. So I think it's a pretty cool picture. There are a few thermal pictures out in the world. This one included, like maybe 3 come to mind, maybe 4. Kathy from Bigfoot World, if you're out there listening, I wanted to ask you a question, and I wanted to wait until we were in the live to do it. I want to ask you, do you have Native American ethnicity roots? Dana Vella, welcome. There's a shout out. Mr. Midwest, Stacy Brown had a really good one. That was from right here in Florida, North Florida actually, and you could just see the creature jump from tree to tree. It was excellent. I'll tell you, Dana Vella, I'm gonna give you something better than that. I'm gonna block you from the channel. There you go. You're welcome. You know what? Actually, I just had someone else ask me about that. Every once in a while, like when I'm scrolling Facebook, I'll see, uh, what is it? Facebook finding Bigfoot or whatever their group is called. Um, and I'll see it pop up, but I mean, their group seems to just completely fizzled. So the reason I was asking Kathy is that a lot of these reports, a lot of these Sasquatch reports are coming back as being more attracted. Well, I don't should say more, but anyway, being attracted to people that have Native American blood is really what I'm trying to get at. And it's being reported that some of the language that they're speaking, that we're calling samurai speak, is actually Cherokee. That they can actually communicate in Native American language. I haven't got a great chance to analyze this one, But this is looking like, well, it's definitely a hand with hair on it and fingernails. This is not Peter Kane. So at that point, I'm not really sure what it is yet. But I'm gonna try to work it in. It looks like a hand to me. I'm gonna try to work it into the next video though. So I want to bring up another theory, and I'll really be curious to get you guys' opinion on this, and just hold with me, all right? What if wood knocks, what we refer to wood knocks, are not wood knocks at all? Like, what if wood knocks don't actually exist? You're gonna say, no way, that's crazy. What about all those? You know, okay, well, here's the theory. So, if you ever go out in the woods, try to just pick up something large enough to whack a tree to make that loud of a noise, right? That it can be heard quite a distance away. Generally, if something like a stick or like a branch, a limb is laying on the ground, you pick it up, get a whack a tree, it's gonna crumble and it's just gonna fall apart, right? So, do we really think that the Sasquatch is carrying around his own personal wood knocking stick? Which is pretty implausible. Not to mention, no one's ever spotted them having a stick in their hand. So, yeah, so what if this is a throat sound? We're all familiar with, you know, the infrasound. You know, we're all familiar with the noises that they make physically affecting human beings, being that strong to actually have waves that come out of their mouth. So yeah, what if this wood knock is just a that comes out of the throat of a Sasquatch, and it's just that loud? Which makes more sense to me than wood knocking, frankly. Kat, no, I'm not familiar with who Barbara Shoop is. You know, once again, Mr. Midwest and Tommy Boy, thank you for your donation, for your super thanks. I appreciate the support. And you guys are welcome to join our YouTube channel. You can also join us on Patreon. We post some content on Patreon that we can't post on YouTube, so it's kind of interesting. We're hoping to get a podcast started. That's in the works. I'll put it that way. It's on the surface. So I want to show you guys a couple things I brought. I feel like this is show and tell every time I come to the live. I want to bring something interesting to show you guys. That's some cool art, but that's not why. That's not what I brought. Let's see, that's Dutchy. We know that picture. This picture just surfaced too. I haven't dug into this one yet. I appreciate it, Mr. Midwest, and I don't care what your reasoning is, as long as, you know, as long as you're on my list of guys, you know, on Patreon, I'm happy with that. And I will openly admit that I'm not very active on Patreon. We only use Patreon, A, to gather support for the channel, and B, to post anything that is too questionable to post on YouTube. YouTube is full of Karens, man. It's like you post something on here, and it's like next thing they're like, they're reporting the video. If you use certain language, they'll report the video. So over there, it's a little more no holds barred because you're only targeting that audience, the audience that pays to be there. So they're not going to report you for anything. All right, Kathy. Kat, I'm going to have to look into this person. I have never heard of her. So, which I'm learning that there's just so many thousands of experiences happening. I'm just going to say the United States. Forget the world. The world probably has, so many more. But although I did hear some interesting stuff out of Australia. But in the United States alone, man, there's just these people, they grow up with Bigfoot. They just have experiences from young ages, and it just goes on. It's not even a question in their mind whether it exists or not. It's that, oh yeah, we grew up with one. It was, stole our garbage, or they talk about like it's a bear. Like, oh yeah, they took the apples off our trees, so it's just like, the stories are fantastic, man. And obviously stories are all we have to go on. History is based on stories. We have the added benefit due to our level of technology to add things like video and pictures. But of course, we also have to be very careful in sussing those out and figuring out what's real and what's fake. And that's kind of what we do. So, but as far as this picture goes, I can't wait to dig into this one and see what we find. Like right off the bat, I'm loving the feet. You can kind of see like a tendon right there. I mean, I don't know who would have gotten this picture or how, but I do like it. So I'm really hoping that I don't find anything to declare it fake. This happened with the other pictures too. I was like, oh, it's a cool picture, and I was like, oh yeah, that's fake. So we'll see. Yeah, the Yowie one, man, I found that one so interesting, and I honestly, I was taking a little bit of a chance by posting that on YouTube. I didn't know if anybody was going to get all up in arms about it, but yeah, basically you can just see where this Yowie was dragging that boar, and then for whatever reason got spooked and just ripped that thing in half and threw it in two different directions and kept walking. I mean, it's an amazing video, and it's on the channel if you guys haven't seen it. If you want to go back, it was just like a week ago we posted it, so it's just a little couple-minute video, and with a breakdown that shows the video. So, Robert, that's a great question. I personally feel that I have an eye for AI pictures. They always have a little bit of a weird fuzz around the outside of them, and I don't know why that is. The fur, AI has a hard time nailing down fur. It always sort of looks a little cloudy, and you can just kind of look at it and tell. And then it's always these ridiculous pictures where it's like a Sasquatch is 3 inches from a camera in front of a creek. And I'm like, who's holding this camera, So the very first thing you have to do when you get any picture is just be suspicious of it right off the bat. Just be like, why is that? Who's this? Who was holding the camera? Why'd they do this? Like there's that one picture out of Texas where the guy has 2 completely different angles of the same creature. Completely different. So I'm like, so you're going to tell me that you took a picture here and then ran around the corner and took a picture there. Meanwhile, the creature is just staring off in space. You know, things like that give pictures away. And with AI, first of all, if it's just incredibly remarkable, you should immediately be suspect. And I personally think that AI pictures are fairly easy to suss out, but the videos actually tend to be a little more impressive. So, you know, that's, I don't know, that's part of what we do. So, hello, Daniel. Welcome. Come and join Robert Kidwell. Anyone else from that neck of the woods over there? Alright, we're going to come back to this picture later. It's going to be in an upcoming video, promise. Alright, why not? We'll talk about this one. So, if you guys haven't been to Expedition Bigfoot, it's in Cherry Log, Georgia. It's very cool. It's very touristy. It's a neat roadside stop. It's $13, probably more now, but it was like 13 bucks to get, and it's worth it. It's just, for any Bigfoot fan, it's worth it. It's fun. You're gonna go in there and you're gonna buy some overpriced, you know, souvenirs and get a Bigfoot sticker and whatever else, you know, so it's fun. But this is supposed to be a Bigfoot. We're gonna keep our hands above the table and call it feces. And I took this picture personally. I'm gonna say it was about 4 foot long. And the first question that came to my mind is, I was like, why is it not in a coil or a pile of any kind? Like, was the Bigfoot walking? Was he on the go when he had to go? I don't know. But I've always questioned the legitimacy. And I'll tell you what, if you go there, you'll see why it's easy to question, because a lot of the pictures on the wall of their quote-unquote Bigfoot are like Mark Anders' suit. Like if you know the subject, you can look at the picture and go, oh yeah, that was proven fake a long time ago. And in fact, I think the Texas one that I was talking about, that's also on the wall there. So, you know, you look at these pictures and you go, these are the pictures you're putting on the wall. And they have like a replica of the Tibetan Yeti skull and hand, which were proven through DNA not to be real, but the Tibetan monks, they don't really buy DNA. They still think it's real, but I happen to know that they don't have them, but they have them there on display like they're real. They have them in a little cooler and everything. It's very funny, but it's fun, you know. Hello, Armando. Yeah, I don't know what that thing would. I don't know what it would smell like if they open it. But that being said, if you're in the area, stop and do it. It's fun. You can go in there and laugh at some of the silly things they have. This is one from Bigfoot World, and I'm curious to see if this is going to show up at all on this setup. It may not. I mean, I can see it. I don't know if you guys can see it or not, but... Alright, thank you, Kat. Thanks for coming by. So, like, you can see the eye here, the nose there, the mouth here. And I mean, I can see it even on this setup. This is IR footage, by the way. See, if I move it up there, like away from, I don't know, whatever, it causes like a little, like a lack of distortion. And you can really see it. You can really make out the mouth. Okay. This one, this is Tommy Boy's picture. Well, one of them anyway. We went over this in a video about 2 weeks ago, so I'm not going to go over it again. Where's that from? Tommy Boy, that is Bigfoot World. Kathy Westerman, aim to frame. That's the Ocala National Forest. That's a skunk ape on IR. So anyway, just a real quick on this. Obviously, we got an eye here, nose here, mouth there, and a large conical shaped head that goes out of frame. You can even see shoulders here. This is a big creature. This is staring right at Tommy Boy. Well, you're here, dude. You can tell your own story, but the way I understand it is he kind of heard a noise, turned around, took a picture. This guy stopped and looked right at him. So, although this picture, I find this picture to be great. I think that's a great picture of a Bigfoot. What's really interesting, and look at that. It's right after the one I want. Man, this show's just coming together, you know? It's almost like I've done this 20 times already. So, this is a picture of Tommy Boy's, what do you call this thing? Tree stand? It's a chair in a tree. It's got a ladder on it with a chair. It's a tree stand, right? It is twisted around this tree like a pretzel. And back off on it now. You can get a full view. So, when I posted this, I had a few people say, well, you know, I don't think a moose could do that. Okay. I don't agree with that. If you've ever seen a full-grown moose, I'm pretty sure with enough motivation they could do whatever the hell they want. But Tommy Boy lives in Pennsylvania. Erie, as a matter of fact, I believe. The moose and the elk are almost extinct in the state of Pennsylvania. Almost. There's very few left. I refuse to believe that a black bear can pull this off. First of all, they'd have to use their teeth. And you know how it feels when you put metal on your teeth? I don't think so. And they're not going to do that. And that's assuming that they are strong enough to do that. I don't know that. But what is strong enough is that big ass Sasquatch that Tommy had just got a picture of. You couldn't budge it. Okay. It looks fairly strong. Like when I look at it, I'm like, this thing's got a hold like a 200-pound guy. You know what I mean? It looks of decent quality. And I mean, look at that. It is just twisted right around. That thing is steel? Are you kidding me? Like, I totally thought it was aluminum. I was like, well, it can't be that heavy, but yeah, steel. So, to me, there's 4 creatures that could potentially pull that off. You know, on land in Pennsylvania. And that's a moose and an elk and a bear and a Sasquatch. So, being that we have a picture of a Sasquatch in the same vicinity, and I don't think a bear could do that, and there's very few moose or elk. I mean, they got some big ass deer up there, no kidding. But that, a Sasquatch grabbed this thing with two hands and just twisted it around this tree. Welcome, Kenneth. Welcome. It's still there. Never took it down, huh? No, I'm pretty sure a deer can't accomplish that. They are big up there, though. Like, see, I'm from Florida. Our deer are like the size of dogs. I mean, I get up there. We saw a couple deer running away from what I believe was a Sasquatch. That's a whole other story. But anyway, they were running away. These things were massive. Massive creatures. So anyway, you guys will find that picture in the last video, episode 31, I believe. Still can't move. I believe it. But an 800-pound Sasquatch, that's not a big deal for him, And I don't know what his intentions were, frankly. He was sending you a message, which he was either pissed off you took his picture, pissed off that you were there, or just wanted to make your tree stand immobile so you couldn't come back there. To deter you from coming back there because you're on his territory. Yeah, and as big as moose are, let's just say that you've got a full-grown moose wandering around western Pennsylvania. I mean, they're big and they're strong, just crazy strong. But to get like a antler, is that what they call it? Is that what moose have? I know deers have antler, but to get one under that tree stand and to push it around in a circle, why? I mean, maybe the how is not near as important as the why. But either way, I'm gonna go Sasquatch on that. So, all right, I'll give you some background on this story, or on this picture rather. I don't disagree that there's no moose around there. I mean, I went and did a little research just to figure out. I was like, well, maybe there's like moose. Those creatures are massive, just stupidly huge, bigger than cars. People have no idea how big moose really are. But I was reading, apparently during the 1800s, there was so much hunting of moose and elk that they really haven't made a very healthy comeback as far as population goes. Collateral damage on the trunk. That's a good point, Robert. You probably would have seen rutting marks on the tree, around the ground. I mean, you would have seen if a big ass moose came through there. But anyway, so this picture here, there's a series of these pictures. I believe I went through these on the last video on episode 31. This is the same guy that had the thermal from earlier. And again, we're looking at what is apparently a thermal, picture. There's two of these, I believe. Yeah, there's two of them, but this one is much better. So I think what's cool about this picture is that you can actually see like details like hair coming down on its face. And of course the eye, the nose, the mouth. You can even make out the chin, like the cheekbone and the chin right there. And then not necessarily a conical shaped head, but different than a human for sure. So I heard an interesting. It's not a theory, but it was something. Actually, it was something that happened. It was an experience. You know how a lot of people will report hearing uh, tree breaks. You know, like limb snaps and stuff like that, along with a Sasquatch sighting, right? So they said that they heard all that, you know, and then as they go to pursue to get a picture or whatever, they find that the broken branches had been used on the ground to disturb their footprints. So people always ask, well, why is there only one print or why is there only two prints? What if they're covering their tracks? Back to this guy. I don't believe that Scott made it here tonight, or at least not yet. I haven't seen him. But if you guys watch, go back to the last video, the very last image is this image. And this setup does this image no justice at all. But Scott will tell you that this is either a dog man or some sort of ghost hound. You guys know my feelings about Dogman. I'm still waiting on that smoking gun, that like prolific evidence that proves existence at all. But I feel that this one puts something onto the pile that wasn't there before. I certainly do. So anyway, thanks to Scott. If you do come back and check out this live, you know, keep doing what you do. Scott has some great pictures. If you guys haven't seen Scott Loomis Monsters from Maine, check out his YouTube channel. Go subscribe. He's got some pretty cool stuff, and we've covered quite a few of his pictures. I would love to hear that, Tommy boy. I'm gonna throw this one into the next video as well. I find this guy interesting, and I always try to keep it on the level with him, and not like, I don't ever want him to think that I'm throwing shade. I do respect a lot of his pictures, but he believes something that I refuse to. And he believes that what he's capturing on film is what he calls a DNN, I believe, or DDN. Disembodied demonic Nephilim. And if you go back on our channel a few months ago, we made a video about Nephilim, which are the biblical giants, the offspring of God. God instilled these people, these angels called watchers, that were supposed to watch mankind. Well, they lusted over the human women, they mated with the women, and they made the offspring was the Nephilim, these giants. And that's how the storybook goes. Well, so they're mentioned a couple times in the Bible. They're also mentioned more in the book of his of um, wow, the name just fell right out of my head. Book of Enoch. Enoch, thank you. Book of Enoch. So they mentioned there too. But anyway, I refuse to believe that this has any bearing at all on the Sasquatch creature. But anyway, that being said, this is Abe's picture, Abe Sias. I will be investigating this picture further in an upcoming video. Momentary drink break. Now, let's see what else there is to see. I think I only brought like 30 pictures tonight. I'm gonna have to go dig further and get some more. I have no idea what this is. I don't think it's a Sasquatch though. It could be as simple as somebody running in front of the camera and causing like a blur, you know. Rebecca Rollison, I believe, right here. All right. There you go. That's ironic. We were just talking about that. I don't like this program. Let's see something interesting. Speak of the devil. Look at this. So I was just talking about Abe Sias and his DDNs. This is another one. So our buddy Abe, like I said, I mean, you know, I like Abe. I think he has some cool pictures. Do I believe that they're Nephilim? No. I don't know what they are. But this is interesting, and this is one of his pictures. Yeah, Bob. Yes, Robert. It was cropped, and I don't know why. I'd like to ask him about that one of these days. I tend to believe that he didn't crop it for any nefarious reasons, but I would love to see the full version. Huge. I mean, Mr. Midwest, you know, I don't believe into the whole Bible thing, frankly, but um, it's an interesting story, you know, and I think we've pretty well proven that there was a great flood at some point in human history. Like that's in every major culture, religion. I mean, everyone talks about that. So that's such a widely accepted thing. But to say, you know, did I just hit something? Say like, you know, Nephilim and they survived the flood in the spirit world and eh, who has energy for that? I don't know if you guys saw this one. We posted that a while back. This is Mount St. Helens erupting. This guy was like towing his motorcycle to go like ride some dirt trails or whatever, and just Mount St. Helens, it just erupted. You know, and the only reason I bring that picture up is because of the, you know, sort of widely accepted belief that numerous Sasquatch were killed during the eruption of Mount St. Helens. In fact, there's reports of helicopters pulling their bodies off of the side of the mountain. You know, I've said that before, Mr. Midwest, that you don't need religion to have a moral compass. I was scoffed at when I said that, but I truly believe that. I don't need the Bible to tell me that it's not cool to kick puppies or rob little old ladies in the park. Yeah, I think this is a very cool picture. Terrifying too. I mean, can you imagine? And I'm going to say this again. I know you guys might get tired of hearing it, but there is a audiobook called Bigfoot in Yellowstone. Or something to that effect. Bigfoot Experiences in Yellowstone National Park, something like that. And it's narrated by this guy. And I'm telling you, the experiences in this book are wild. Just wild stuff. And, you know, Yellowstone is so incredibly remote that, you know, I buy it. I buy that. So, if you get the opportunity, download it on like Amazon, you know, music or whatever. You can listen to it on your way to work. It's fantastic. But I sometimes think about, I'm like, if, you know, Old Faithful ever, that's a super volcano. If it ever lets go, which they say like it does like every 700,000 years, and we're due, it'll wipe out most of North America. So there's something to think about. Let's see. What else? What else do we have? Oh, this is not terribly impressive, but I think it's cool. This is the site of the Freeman video. I can't remember what it's called. It's something. It's a watershed, and it's, you know, what it's in Oregon, Mount Hood area, I believe. Well, Mr. Midwest, do you want to trust somebody that does the right thing because it's the right thing to do? Or do you want to trust someone that does the right thing because they're afraid of the consequences that God will impose on them if they don't? So, it's better to know your demons and be able to control them. rather than just use ecclesiastical whiteout, and not have any demons. Speaking of Mr. Midwest, there's the thing that you sent me about the Mayaka skunk ape. Let's see. What about Independence Day though? I mean, sure, I have my reservations about it, but I mean, it really was incredibly impressive. And I've always heard that, it's too good to be true. It's got to be a guy in a suit, right? If you watch the Independence Day footage, you'll see that as the Sasquatch comes out from behind a rock to go retrieve her baby, when she picks it up, the baby's head moves independently of the mother. So what you're telling me is that either that Sasquatch was a person in a suit that was then puppeteering a baby Sasquatch, or it was some sort of animatronic. And the thing that gets me about these claims is that these people don't make money. Like, posting this footage online, I mean, maybe they made a couple $100 or something somewhere along the line, but there's not a lot of money in it. Unless you're selling your picture to Getty Images. There's not a lot of money in it, So I don't get the motivation behind doing a big major motion picture hoax. It's a level of thought that counts as much as one's conclusion. So that's true. It would be incredibly hard to fake and not worth the effort, is my point. So let's see what else. Oh, I dig this picture. I still have never come to any sort of conclusion on what I genuinely think this picture is. It's terrifying, whatever it is. Whatever it is. And again, it's one of those things where it's like, if it's fake, why? Why? Bobby! What's up, dude? Thanks for joining, man. Yeah, I miss seeing you too, man. You got to come up to the SW and check us out sometime. He did. He found a mount. Yeah, a steed, a wild steed. There's so many weird things going on in this picture, like the wings and everything. These the wings right here. I don't even know what to think about this picture, to be honest with you. Yeah, Pigman. Yeah, Mr. Midwest, Rob, I don't think Gimlin probably made it a little bit better than Patterson, but he lived a lot longer, But the only reason that Gimlin made money is because he was smarter. He was able to sell autographed pictures of Patty and, his book and et cetera, et cetera. But yeah, Patterson, he died a poor man, so. Yeah, I don't want to like this picture either. It's just terrifying. And I hate to think about what just happened to that pig, the boar, but I don't think they're friends. I think that, I don't know. First of all, I don't even know if I even consider it to be real, to be honest with you. But it's something. It's weird. Well, you know, Kathy, I have worked all my life, and I would like to stop now. Like I'm done. I'm done working 2 jobs, and and you know, also on top of that, running the channel. I would love for this channel to become such a source of income that I can focus all of my time and effort into it. That would be my dream. That would be awesome. So one day. This fairy works for the Yowie. Yeah, congratulations to you, Kathy, for retiring. You deserve it. Well, pucker up. He's the Mothman, yeah. Yeah, maybe so. Whatever happened? What do you think happened to the Mothman? I mean, he was only reported for what, like 18 months? Do you think it was some government like experiment that got out of hand, and then they had to go and like recapture the creature that they had created? Do you guys hear the train? You think Mothman died? Really? That's depressing, Kathy. You're like, he's dead. Did he fly into one of those bug traps? Like the zappers? So yeah, so Mothman was reported, I don't have the dates offhand, but it was about, I think it was a 13-month period. The reports just flooded in, you know, over like Pleasant, or Point Pleasant, West Virginia. And then sometime later, they would find this like underground, like concrete bunker that was abandoned. It's still there. You could still, I think it's trespassing. You could still go there. But they found this bunker, and it was... Good night, Daniel. Thank you for joining us, sir. That's right. Mothman is living quietly in an apartment in Washington, D.C. And one day, he'll be back. Yeah, it was definitely, I want to say it was 67 or 68. Which I believe is the same time period as Patty. So that's interesting, but all in all, inconsequential, I guess. But forgive me as I top off my drink here. Daniel Quayle. Quail Man. I don't know if you know that he's a superhero as well. All right, back to business. Well, what do you think it was Omen for, Robert? Yeah, Mr. Midwest, don't ever forego refreshments for this broadcast. I support your effort. You got to stay hydrated. I don't know if it's reg or reg, but I personally estimate anywhere from 6 to 10,000 in North America. You see, if you notice the trends, there was a lot, and then there was a little, and then there was a lot again, and then we went through this like hiatus through the like 80s and 90s where there was little, very little. And then as the 2000s came along in the last 20 years, we've crept up a lot. So the population is growing. It's just like any creature. It's like when they're driven to the point of extinction, they lose their land that they were living on. They have to go somewhere else. They have to migrate further away. They lose ground. And now I think that the Sasquatch are coming back in a big way, especially on the east coast of America. I think we're getting sightings out of there that we've never had before. So you're going to see this creature become more and more, popular. Oh, there's one of Bigfoot World's. Kathy Westman aim to frame, guys. If you are not a part of their Facebook and or YouTube, shame on you. Go do it. So you say haven't seen a baby. I mean, haven't we though? I mean, we definitely saw the infant in the Independence Day footage. The reports are out there. If we study the reports closely, and that's really where it is, people always seem to wait for, where's the video, where's the picture, where's the reports are out there. I mean, people are seeing and hearing the babies, the infants, the teenagers, but the fact of the matter is, just like the black bear or the brown bear, the Sasquatch are so defensive about their young, their youth. You're not going to see them just by themselves. Like, it's going to be hard to see, a child, a juvenile Sasquatch. There are reports, but, again, they're few and far between because they're not that far from their mothers. What is your area, Native Waves? Out of curiosity. Of course, Kathy, always. Yeah, Oklahoma. Man, so many reports out of Oklahoma. There's stories out of Oklahoma. They're like, they grew up with Sasquatch. Like they grew up with them as part of their culture, as part of their family. You know, like it was just a known thing. That's all. You know. In fact, I think I just heard a story tonight about Oklahoma. So yeah, that state is brought up all the time. Toxins, yeah. Well, so check this out, right? There was a study done recently, and it was kind of low key, but I caught wind of it. But it was about they wanted to get people that believe in things like Sasquatch and cryptids and aliens and paranormal. They wanted to get those people together and figure out what is the common tie with these people, right? And the common tie ended up being, you guys ready? Well water. It's commonly believed that the fluoride that they put in tap water blocks the pineal gland in the brain, and it makes people oblivious to certain things. And not that they're special, but just a certain level of thinking that they don't ever get to. They don't really make it there because their pineal gland is blocked. So by not introducing all the fluoride as a child or teen or whatever, by drinking well water, the idea is that we're not intoxicating our brains as much, and we're more perceptive to that level of thinking. Now, I found that interesting because I've drank well water my whole life. You know, so that struck home with me. You know, I was like, wow, that's crazy. That's true. I was like, I never really lived in the city and had city water, you know, as a kid. So Native Ways, you're absolutely welcome, man. Like I said, keep those stories coming out of Oklahoma. I love it. I don't know much about Oklahoma. I've never been there, frankly. But what I do know is the amount of Sasquatch stories that come out of Oklahoma, and that's all I need. So good on that. All right, Kathy. So here's something for you. Here's a story. Since we know. Hey, Xander, welcome, bud. Welcome. See, look at this trend. Well water, well water, well water, well water. So it's just like, you know, it's there. But anyway, Kathy, do you feel that you've been marked somehow? And I asked this. I know it sounds like a weird question, but the thought process with a lot of people is, well, I saw a Sasquatch under these circumstances, but no matter where I move, I see them again and again, right? So are you just that good at tracking a Sasquatch? But they're not trying to. They just happen to have these encounters over and over again. So the reason I bring that up is that I know, and when I say Kathy, you guys, I'm speaking about Bigfoot World. I know for a fact that you had experiences at in the Ocala National Forest, and then fast forward later on, and let's just say 40 miles away, are continuing to have the same experiences in your own backyard. And in your case, you have the photo evidence to back it up. So my question is, do you feel that it's not a physical, accidental thing that happens, rather than you personally have been chosen, selected, marked? Right, so you say you never took the pictures, but I don't know. Were they always there? Or did they follow you? And I find that fascinating because they followed you a long distance, you know? So that's where, because me, I'm very much on the aper side of things, where I don't really believe in the interdimensional travel and things like that. But I still want to learn about everything that's available to learn, if that makes sense. So it's a fascinating subject to me. And you're right, Mr. Midwest. I mean, yeah, Kathy and her whole group, just they do have a gift. They have a knack for just coming upon these creatures and coming out with great physical evidence. So, are we all of the same opinion that the Sasquatch smell is a scent gland, much like for defensive reasons, like a skunk? Xander, I mean, that's totally a possibility. Like I've always found that, like, if a dog doesn't like somebody, I look sideways at that person, not the dog. Like, I feel like that dog knows something about you that I don't know. Like, it can smell something, it can feel, I don't know, it has a sense that I don't have. And I totally agree with that, you know? Really, Kathy? You got pictures? I got to see the pictures, right? See, Xander thinks it's bad hygiene. I don't agree with that. I've heard too many encounters of where the scent comes and goes away immediately. And you look at it like a skunk, how they just like throw out scent to keep you away from them. And I've heard that this smell is so terrible, and I've never encountered it myself, but I've heard the smell is just the smell of death and rotten meat and body odor. Just terrible smell. And to me, it's too much just to say, well, they don't bathe. I don't know about that. I think it's a defense mechanism. Kathy, I was watching your live right before I kicked on here. I saw that you were picking up all sorts of lights. I know that you were talking about one, but I was seeing many lights and they were flickering. There's an oldie but a goodie. Yeah, Kathy, no, I was seeing lights. It almost looked like, I would have originally said it looked like fireflies, but the light was too inconsistent. Like it wasn't flickering, it wasn't moving in the way that a lightning bug would. It was like steady and then it would flicker, and it was steady and it would flicker. It was a pretty cool video, so I was checking it out before we went live tonight. I hope to incorporate your audio on an upcoming video because that was really interesting. I just had such a weird thought, Kathy. Like you're out there right now in the field. I was like, are these skunk apes listening to me right now? Robert, since you ask, this is, well, we don't know what this is. This is something from Bigfoot World. Kathy's, this is an older capture. I don't know how, Kathy, how old is this thing? You could probably tell better than me. This is your picture. I have never quite grasped what exactly it is I'm looking at here, other than a face. And I will tell you, Robert, this platform does not do this picture justice. If you'd like to see this picture on a more personal level, I can show you at a different time. Hello, Cam Kid. Yes, it would be much easier if I called you Bobby. But I try to keep it to where everyone in the chat knows who I'm addressing when I address them. And there was a friend of mine, Bobby Barclay, that stopped by momentarily. This one is Kathy. What's your friend's name? James, right? God, his name just fell out of my head for no good reason. But yeah, this is James. Chicken head. I don't know what that thing is. Yeah, Moundsville, West Virginia. Oh, okay. I just vacationed in West Virginia last year. I want to go back. My mother lives there now, so I want to go back and check it out more. Yeah, that's jams. Mr. Midwest, if we can ever set it up, if we're ever crossing paths, I'd love to hear your story. I'll buy the beer. Thank you, Dennis. You can thank James for that picture. That's right here out of it's good. Kathy's coming along too. We're all gonna have a drink together. What is that crazy shit that you drink, Kathy? What were you telling me about last time? It's Mountain Dew and Heineken or something. Yeah, the beer and Mountain Dew. Ah, pareidolia. Well, you know, Mohammed, pareidolia is absolutely a thing. And we, on this channel, make it a point to separate pareidolia from what we consider to be real. This particular picture, I personally do not believe is pareidolia. That is a Sasquatch. Or, yes, Tommy boy, you're welcome to come. Or a skunk ape. They like to hide, they like to camouflage. So, there's a difference. All right. Well, it's a group. This guy, why not? Right? Why not? The Myaka skunk ape. I appreciate you guys being here. I've missed doing the live shows. I hope that knowing my new schedule, I can be able to schedule these again, although they are later than they used to be. By scheduling them, we get, everyone can participate, and it's just a lot of fun. So, oh man, I don't love Mountain Dew. First of all, I do like beer. I just can't imagine contaminating my beer with Mountain Dew. But it's one of those things where it's so weird I have to try it. So maybe tomorrow I'll try it. Dennis, I get that this guy looks scary, but apes have two different kinds of smiles. They have one where they show their teeth, and they have one where they show their gums. When they show their gums, it's submissive, it's friendly. When they show their teeth, they're baring their teeth to show you that they can bite you. You know, this guy is obviously showing his gums. I think he's friendly. He just got caught in a moment of stealing some food off of someone's porch, and they got a picture of him, and he does look a little sinister, unfortunately. But I think it's just because we don't really understand these creatures. I do try to pick out pareidolia as much as I can. I mean, I know it's out there. Yeah, Mr. Midwest, I know that you have a thing for this picture, so. And of course, if we focus down here, you can see his foot. I think that's what we decided on, right? It was a foot. Sure, welcome, Lewis. Thank you. Thanks for joining us. I'm J Mac, and welcome to Bigfoot Input. So I just want to point out, there's no part of me that thinks this picture is actually real, but I do believe in feral humans, which I think are mislabeled as the rake. So this is terrifying. It's true, Mr. Midwest, because we don't know. And in that moment, if I'm standing, 20 feet from this creature and he gnashes his teeth at me in any shape or form, I'm going to be terrified. And there's not a lot of things in this world that I run from. That might be one of them. Isn't Sonny Valor the guy that took the picture of the Sasquatch that kind of has like the large nose and the hair coming down from its face? I don't know what geographical location this is inspired by, but I like to stay away from there, to be honest with you. I'm thinking anywhere in the Appalachian Mountains. Yeah, you do that, Kathy. And I'll tell you what, I'll put it on the channel and I'll put your name on it, but I don't want to see it personally. Man, you know what? Picture I should have brought. Did anyone see the picture that Bigfoot World caught of the apparition pushing the plow, like the man pushing the plow? It's insane. If you haven't seen it, I'm sure it's posted on their channel, or at least on their Facebook. I know that I posted it on the Facebook. You should go check that out. I'm gonna go check out the Sunny thing. I'm not entirely educated on the subject, so I don't want to speak on it, but I'll go check out the stuff and see. We'll reconvene on it next time we go live and see what's up. Hey, hello, Lewis. Welcome. The cooker. Cooking up something, huh? Oh, this is one of Bigfoot World's too, right here. I assure you that this platform does not do it justice, but this guy, conical shaped head, deep cranial ridge, eye, bright shiny teeth. Unfortunately, like I said, you'd have to see this picture in person, but it's great. No, bears don't throw branches because they don't have opposable thumbs. Hello. But Xander, I mean, you know, they have the same type of fur that brown bears have or polar bears or whatever. I mean, they probably live subterranean. So when it gets too cold, they just go underground. But you're talking about an ancient race of human, in my opinion, my humble opinion, that knows how to survive in cold temperatures. Yeah, well, the rake, again, you're talking about subterranean creatures. If they're feral humans, like I, suspect, they're underground. So, please do. The cooker, Lewis, thank you. Thank you for subbing. I appreciate the support. Kathy, I'm hoping to do a video with some of your vocals. Some of them are pretty impressive. And I haven't actually worked out how exactly I'm going to do vocals because I have one from Scott, I have one from you. But I want to do some vocal videos coming up, so I'll let you know. Well, I have some software where I can drop some background noise and bring forward other stuff. So we'll get to working on that. I don't particularly believe this is real either, but it's a really, it's just an interesting adaptation of the rake, you know? Not to be confused with Slender Man, which is complete bullshit. Do you guys want to look at these again? I don't. There's probably some people that haven't had the opportunity to see these. So this guy sent me these pictures. Okay, so he lives in Kentucky. What's his name? Dwayne Davis. He lives in Kentucky. He hears like some helicopters going above his house. He runs outside to take some pictures, right? So he catches these Apaches. There's like 5 or 6 of them in formation. That in itself is not necessarily, that interesting. But what is interesting, I can get my little pointer out. Hang on. right here. It's not in focus. Hold on. There it is. Do you see this right here? Right there. That little green orb. See that? This guy claims that these Apaches were chasing that green orb. And he took 3 pictures of it. Piece of crap there. So again, let's see, let me zoom in for you. There's the orb right there. Here's the Apaches trying to find it. One more time. Here's the orb. Now, in these pictures were taken rapid fire. Each picture, the orb has changed positions, right? And although you can't see it very well, there's the helicopters once again. So how freaking cool is that? These helicopters are chasing this orb. Yeah, I believe that there are laws already existing about Bigfoot. It's just they're taken as a joke, you know, at this point. How do you mean, Tommy Boy? Like play videos on live? I could do that on the current setup I have. The problem is just the quality, you know. YouTube does not provide us with the tools to, you know, run things on live of high quality, so have I ever seen a video that you can't get sleep? I assume you mean have I ever seen a video like so frightening that I couldn't get to sleep? Yeah. Tommy Boy, you can send us anything at bigfootinput@gmail.com. Just, you know, you and I have a communication. You can send whatever you want. I can check it out. I can download it. I can check it out. And chances are I will be able to replay it if it's, you know, something that we want to cover. But yes, please send whatever you like. Like, yeah, Mr. Midwest, I'm so tech stupid that this is a miracle that this is happening right now. Like, like literally, this is the second coming of Christ, that I am able to show you pictures and talk at the same time. Like, it's just fucking amazing. But Little Rock, I'm trying to give you a straight answer, but nothing's coming to mind. Yeah, there have been things that have absolutely, I've seen that have absolutely terrified me. And I think what terrifies me more than anything is the unseen. When you see that video of just that loud Sasquatch scream, you know, like that would um that would paralyze me with fear, you know. I'm glad it's not just me. I think it's an old guy thing, you know. You can ask Kathy there. When we first started doing this, literally, I'll tell you guys the story if you're interested. This is how the live got started. It was Christmas time, and yeah, I don't throw that around too much, but we got the OLD, bro. Like, you know, just um, why, I don't know. I guess it's just that, like, it's that fight or flight thing. You know, it's like you feel flight when you hear that Sasquatch scream. You know, that get away from me scream, get away from my ear. You know, it's fear. It just instills fear. So last year, actually, I think it was the year before last. We've been doing this for a while. It was Christmas time, and I had a Christmas tree up. I had all my Sasquatch, like, you know, decorations on the tree, and I had my cousin Eddie, my, you know, my Christmas vacation decorations. And one night, man, I was 3 sheets, and I don't even mind admitting that. Whew, and I was like, phew, we're going live, boom, live. And I took, the whole thing was 2 hours of me holding my phone pointed at the Christmas tree, talking about Sasquatch, talking about cryptids, whatever we want to talk about. All of a sudden, it becomes a thing. When you go on live again, when we're going to do live again. And that was it for the first like 6 or 7 episodes, maybe. It was just 2 hours of my Christmas tree. And then we moved on to, like, you know, let's get some, you know, beer bottles and different images out there, you know, like Sasquatch type stuff. And I was like, you know, I want to keep advancing. I want to do something better. So let's get some pictures going, you know, like let's get some whatever going. And so here we are. And hopefully, like, next year, we'll be doing something even more, you know, advanced. Oh, this is so good. If you guys haven't seen this one, this is Brad Kidd. This is a Yowie. Brad Kidd is from Australia. He took this picture on the Golden Coast of Australia. I don't pretend to know where that is, but it's somewhere over there in Australia. So, yeah, how cool is that? I mean, that's definitive shit right there, right? Um, we don't really have a set time necessarily. We've been going for about 2 hours now. I don't see myself going past 1 a.m. my time, so, you know, we're gonna wrap it up here in the next hour. Uh, so no, it's not pareidolia at all. Mr. Midwest, let me send you a link, bro. I'm gonna send it tomorrow. There's a story that comes out of this guy that was in Australia, and it's about a yowie and what the hell is that other creature? The oh damn it, the dog creature, the striped one, thylazine. Anyway, it's a fascinating story, and it's only like maybe like 45 minutes to an hour. It's audio. You can listen to it like whenever. Um, he tells this fascinating story about a yowie and about how the fur is translucent and it like blends in with the environment, which could explain a lot of why we can barely see Sasquatch, you know. So, but anyway, I'll send that to you tomorrow. It's on like Spotify and like different things, but it's my Bigfoot sighting, so you can check that out. Yeah, kind of, Tommy boy, kind of. All right, Kathy, have a good night. We will see you. I look forward to your new videos. We'll check them out tomorrow, and I'll steal all the cool pictures from it. Thylazine. Thank you. That's the word I was looking for. Yeah, Mr. Midwest, it is. I am absolutely hooked on this my Bigfoot sighting podcast, or if you want to call it that. All it is like random people telling their Bigfoot story. And it is so fascinating. Some of the stories are 5 minutes, some of them are an hour. It just depends. And you just get on there and start listening to it and you get lost in it. And man, these people are just bringing forth evidence and they're just spilling their guts, man. And it's so captivating because you know these people are telling the truth. You know they're being truthful about what they're seeing. And the people that are lying, you can tell. It is absolutely the best, most definitive source of Bigfoot stories that I've ever come across. I like that. I would highly recommend it, and it's cool because, like I said, it's just audio. So, like, if you're on a treadmill, or you're on a plane, or you're driving to work, or whatever, you can just pop it on and just listen to it. And it's fascinating stuff. Yeah, thylazine. This guy from Australia had reported seeing one, and he just said it was like this, you know, striped dog looking creature, and it had a massive mouth. It's a fascinating story. I have so many of these pictures. This is me. This is me at work, and I just lost the picture. Here you go. This is totally me at work. Me explaining why Bigfoot exists, even though no one asked. So native ways, I've heard both sides of that story. I've heard that, you know, like I didn't hear anything, no branches, no footsteps, and then I've heard like it sounded like a freight train coming through the woods. So it sounds like they can control themselves. They can either be ninja-like, or they can just plow through and scare the shit out of you, you know? Yeah, but Mr. Midwest, did you see recently Forrest Galante, is that his name? The biologist guy? He just rediscovered the Tasmanian tiger recently. I think it was in Paraguay. He caught it on video, and it was like maybe 5 years ago, if that, maybe not even that long ago. So it's actually been rediscovered, and it's no longer extinct. Forrest Gallant is a cool dude, but he's a biologist and he refuses to even dip his toes into cryptozoology. You know, like for me, it's like those two should go hand in hand, but he just wants to keep it on the up and up, I guess. So. This is from Australia. That's a big damn foot right there. Random fact, you know, not bragging or anything, but if you ever wonder where these backgrounds come from, these are mine. I make these backgrounds. I like to do different logos all the time and just sort of keep it fresh. So these are all mine. We do these. We have a merch store that we're well, we're trying to relaunch due to technical difficulties. But if you guys ever want any of these on a shirt or anything, you just gotta let me know. We'll take care of it for you. Well, yeah, that's exactly how I feel, Midwest. It's like, dude, you know, so this creature was considered extinct. So therefore, it really is a cryptid, right? I mean, I guess a cryptid has to be like, well, it was never proven scientifically as a creature at all. But they're just it's such a gray line. It's like that's a thin line to walk, buddy, you know? You know, Little Rock, I personally have discovered where it's if there's any little patch of tree line to escape to and to hide to, you may find them there. So I just I wish it wasn't such a taboo to like talk about Bigfoot and to talk about the Loch Ness monster and stuff. Like I wish it wasn't taboo. Like let's really look into it. You know, it's like let's get in there. And it's like if it's bullshit, it's bullshit. But like let's figure it out. You know, like I hate the fact that everybody just has to be like, like I know someone, I don't name names, but you know, like they said, well, I don't believe in Bigfoot. And I said, well, why is that? Well, it's the same reason I don't believe in Santa Claus. All right, so what I'm hearing when you say that is that you've never done any research into the subject at all. You just put it up there with the Tooth Fairy and Santa Claus and, you know, the Grinch, and, you know, so it's like, it's on that list. It's not actually being researched. Adventure Monty is in the house, everybody. Welcome, dude. Welcome. Yeah, exactly. It's like, and I don't believe that Bigfoot is a gigantopithecus. Sorry, gigantopithecus. But I get what you're saying. It's like, you know, it's like if tomorrow we discovered something that we thought was extinct, you know, 1,000 years ago, we'd be like, well, where the hell has this thing been hiding? But like, look, they just discovered those billy apes in Australia, like, what, like 15 years ago? A bipedal chimpanzee that we didn't know existed, and they found them. You know, so it's like there's a lot of this world that we haven't discovered yet. We gotta knock it off. And it's hard for me, Monty, you know, because it's like this is my thing. This is my subject. And it's not that I can't talk about other stuff. I can, but I get sick of talking about the weather. You know, I don't want to talk about your freaking mom or what she did. Like I'd rather talk about something interesting. Let's talk about aliens or ghosts or Bigfoot, or let's talk about something that's like cool. You know, that actually has some meat to it. I get sick of hearing about, you know, your favorite football team and how they suck. So it's like I would rather throw that subject out there and see if I get any, like, you know, kind of play on it. It's like fishing. And it's like if you're willing to talk about it, let's talk about it. But it's like if you're not, then you're just one of those simps, and I can't talk to you. I mean, I kind of believe that Little Rock, you know, is like if you look at like goldfish, the bigger their area, you know, the more they can grow. Tommy boy, I'm sorry to hear that, man. You know, honestly, tell them that a very reputable Bigfoot channel on YouTube has verified that your pictures are legit. I don't know, man. I'm sorry. You know, that's disappointing. It's got to be disappointing when you go to someone that you trust and they tell you like, "Nah, man, you're off." But that's because they don't have any knowledge in the subject. It's maybe not that they don't trust you or they don't believe in you, but they're so miseducated or so uneducated in the subject that they just don't know. And that's I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt and hope that's why. Hmm. That's weird. I'm gonna have to research that. I was fairly certain that was in Australia, hence the silly name Billy Ape. But I could be wrong. It happens. Right, and that's what happens so often is like, it's like you bring up the word Bigfoot and everyone just starts snickering and laughing because you know why? Because it's cool. Because it defends them against any ridicule. And they're like, ah, ha, ha. And then they're part of the crowd. And it's so much easier to be part of the crowd. It's so much easier to just not say anything that makes people think too much, you know? I think, the thing is, if you start talking to the right people, and I'll kind of casually ask anybody. Like I interviewed, or actually I asked, I didn't interview. He didn't give me an interview, but I asked the dude Trapper Mike. He was just on Joe Rogan recently. I was like, dude, you ever seen a skunk ape? And he was like, no, not yet. He goes, but when I do, he goes, it'll be on video. So it's like you never know exactly where people's mindset is unless you ask. Monty, I get so tired of that question. I also get fatigued by well, my camera is on my cell phone is 48 megapixels, so why haven't we got a picture that's not blurry yet? I get so sick of the same bullshit questions over and over again that have very logical answers, but no one even cares to like stop and think about it. So that I get tired of. It's hard to like combat that question over and over again. It's like, oh my god, I don't even want to talk to you. I might as well take this time for a cheap plug. If you have not checked out our other sister channel, Cryptic Input, please hop over there and subscribe. It's a cool channel about dark paranormal, dark crime, which I don't have the time to update right now. But, there are some stories over there that you'll probably find interesting. And just, go drop a subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything, and it helps us out a lot. So, thank you. No, I have not heard of One Pez. What is that, Little Rock? A lot of logos. Well, Monty, you and I are in two different demographics. So I only care about Bigfoot conferences that are near me. In June, the Great Florida Bigfoot Conference will be coming up, and I will be there. But you're all the way up there in Wisconsin, so I have no idea, dude. I'm going to Georgia, like at the end of this year, and I did look up some conferences to see if anything was going on. Nothing going on when I'm going up there. So the problem is they happen at such random times. It's like it could be in June, could be in December. So. Yeah, it's true, Mr. Midwest. I get that. It's like you easily become camouflaged. And if you are a creature who is 10 foot tall and trying to hide, you know, you're gonna find more success than failure. All right, so you know, it's funny, Monty. We were just talking about that before you got here. Let me see if I can go back without major incident. I cannot. Anyway, so I'm not even gonna try. It's too late in the night. But I was showing a picture of a 4 foot long Bigfoot turd. And that is in the Expedition Bigfoot in Cherry Log, Georgia. So, been there 2 times. I will not be going back. It's very touristy, but it's fun. If you ever get the opportunity, you should go. Don't pass it up. But I'm not going to go back again. Bigfoots can be, they're subject to every other rule that any physical creature is. So if they're not eating well, they can be, you know, malnutritioned, have mange, just like any other creature that lives out of doors. Yeah, it's in Cherry Log, Georgia. Like I said, it's very touristy. There's also one in North Carolina. It's not an Expedition Bigfoot. It's a Bigfoot museum. I haven't been there yet. I want to go check that out. But it's somewhere in North Carolina, so that might be closer to you. And then, of course, you're in Wisconsin, so Point Pleasant, West Virginia is near you. Now, that's, of course, Mothman, not Bigfoot, but still sounds interesting enough. The Skunk Ape Circus. Well, I have to go check that out too. How much does Bigfoot weigh? Anywhere between 700 to 1,000 pounds. Given the fact that they're anywhere from 7 to 10 feet tall, I don't believe anyone that says anything about a 12-foot tall Bigfoot. You know, not to be like, that sounds so official. Yeah, I don't listen to things like that. You know, it's like you have to focus in on the truth, like right in the middle. And then everything else becomes background noise. So I don't really consider stories about 12-foot tall Bigfoot to be like on my main focus. That's like my back burner, right? So anyway, yeah, 1,000 pounds is about where you are. I mean, if you're 12 foot tall, you're like, you know, I don't know. It's a 1,200 foot or 1,200 pound Bigfoot. That's a big boy. Ooh. Well, I don't know, Little Rock. I've never actually seen a Bigfoot. Never shook their hand either. It always comes down to music and smoking pot, doesn't it? I find this picture interesting, but not definitive. I just think it's interesting the way the dog is looking. How do I edit? That's a broad question. Well, I I take pictures and videos that are sent to me or that I find elsewhere, and I put them into a program that allows me to align them, and then I do voiceovers to the video, and then I combine the two in a program that I have. And when I'm happy with it, which takes hours, I upload them to YouTube. So all right, bye. Good to you too. Have a good one. So I don't know. I don't know if you guys saw the last one I did of the 4 videos. Um, I'm trying to incorporate more videos like that, where we're doing. I like the picture analysis, but I want to do some videos too. And we did the last one, and I very painstakingly showed where the man wearing khaki pants and a parka put his hood up. You could literally see his right arm remove his hood, put it up. Like, I went back and forth a couple times, and still some lady was like, "Oh yeah, well I don't agree with you on that one. It's real." And I'm like, "Lady, you know, I just showed you him putting up the hood on his parka. Bigfoots don't wear parkas and they don't have bald heads." But anyway, so yes, I would like to continue to do video analysis and or picture analysis in the future. You know what's funny, Monty? My girl, Q, the love of my life, she was like, you should do a video of bloopers and outtakes. People will love that. It'll make you more relatable, etc. Right? And I was like, that's a good idea. So I went back through all this audio and I cut it all up and posted it. It got like just over 100 views. It was ridiculously just a bomb of a video. But I find it funny, so it is what it is. But yeah, check it out. Let me know what you think. Yeah, I thought that video was neat too. Like, you could definitely, I mean, it was definitely a guy. I just don't know why the fox and the deer were just hanging around with these people. Like, they were just chilling. Yeah, I agree about Mr. Midwest. I agree about the guy with the one that ducked behind the tree. I still stick by what I said though in the video. It was creepy, but I think it was made to look creepy, frankly. Yeah, they had to have had a relationship with those animals. Those animals were so comfortable being there. They would not be that comfortable around a Bigfoot. I hope to have when this channel blows up, when people like Monty are supporting this channel constantly, I hope to buy an RV, like a short one. I'm not a snob. I just want a short RV, and I want to be able to tow behind my Jeep Gladiator, fully equipped with cameras, IR, motion sensors, onboard Wi-Fi, etc. So I don't think I'm asking too much, and I want a nice Bigfoot Input wrap, to be able to actually when a report comes through the wire, to be able to jump in the RV and head out that way to go physically investigate. Gee, Tommy, what was the last picture I had up? So many questions. I'm not sure what the last one I had up was. I believe it, man. It's like, you know, you feed animals, it's like they're gonna get real comfy, you know? Tommy, I don't remember which picture it was we had up. This is the owl picture, of course, I was talking about earlier. Everyone remembers that picture. Oh, okay. I know what you're talking about. Thank you. Thank you. This guy. It's a guy. It's a guy walking up a hill. You can see his guy hand right there. You can see his pants and his shoes. This is a long-haired mountain climber walking up a snow-covered hill. Yeah, no, it's not an owl. God, I get so yelled at about that. I'll call it an opinion just to be nice, because I don't want to sound like a dick. Like, no, what I say is true and what you say is wrong. But I got chopped for that picture, man. It was crazy. People have serious issues. I think this picture was on like television, you know, so everyone has that opinion, you know. It's like it's like no, it's a Yeti, and some schmuck was on camera, like on his hands and knees, walking like in the same camera shot, trying to prove that it was a Bigfoot. Welcome, Brandon. I'm sure there's plenty of Yetis in Oklahoma. Monty. Do you mean this picture? Damn it. That picture? That picture right there? I got you, bro. I knew that was the picture you were talking about. I got you. Thank you, Tommy. It was an owl. It is an owl. And I get that people get attached to the idea of the, and like they think that I'm trying to like debunk Bigfoot. I'm not. I am a complete believer and knower. But I don't want to see bullshit passed off as Bigfoot. That's really all it comes down to. So I have to tell the truth in these things, and the truth sometimes sucks. It hurts. I hurt my own feelings in these videos. You guys think I enjoy like showing stuff that proves things are fake? I don't. But it has to happen, right? I mean, it doesn't have to, but it is. It's my life goal. So I don't remember what episode this is in, Monty. I mean, I know that I've done it before, but here's the thing. I get your reservations about this picture, right? But we have to follow the rules here. We got a conical shaped head. We've got a shoulder right here. Bicep, shoulder. We've got the upper forearm here, elbow, arm down to the ground, right? Torso, big sort of barreling chest, and then we've got some varying leg thing going on here. The problem is not what am I seeing and is it a Sasquatch, right? The problem is what else could it be? And that's where I like to go. What else am I possibly looking at here? So I immediately think, well, I'm looking at a bear, right? So how am I looking at a bear? I'm not. I don't recall seeing bears like plant their face in the ground like this and stick their ass up in the air. You know, there's no other shape that makes sense here. And that's my problem. So it's like, as long as I have those reservations, it's real to me. So until someone can prove me wrong, I'm going to go with, you know, Thinker Thunker sort of has my back on this one, which is a little bit of insurance. I'll take that. And I think that this is a Sasquatch. He's looking this way, looking off forward here. And I don't know why or how they got this picture. There's zero backstory. But it's a great picture. Mr. Midwest, we're saying, before you call it a night, I did want to ask about the Cryptic Input channel. Mainly was something you wrote or... Okay. So, Mr. Midwest, to answer your question, that was not a story that I wrote, not from scratch. I did hear a brief summary of that story somewhere else, and then I brought it back and I wrote the words that I said. Yes, I wrote. That was not plagiarism. I did write those words, but the story itself came from somewhere else. So I didn't do that. You know, I get it, Monty. I wish that this picture was like a little more definitive, you know, and like I get it doesn't just quite like fall into place. But you have to look at it like this. When you have a picture like this and you have to put it somewhere, am I going to put it on the left? Am I going to put it on the right? Or am I going to put it down the middle? And for me personally, I hate leaving pictures on the middle. I like to put them one way or the other. And for this one, I just got to put it on the left. You know, it's got to go there for now. And until I can find a reason why to move it to the right, it'll stay there on the left. I appreciate that, Mr. Midwest. Yeah, no, I heard the story briefly in my travels. You know, I believe me, I make, you know, I'm out there in the world, and that's where I get a lot of the stuff. And when I heard it, I was like, man, that is fascinating as a possibility. And I did add a little bit to it. I embellished a little bit, frankly. You know, it's just a story. But I wanted to make it feel as like a very real possibility, you know, and it reminded me a lot of like Skinwalker Ranch, you know, and that sort of, you know, genre of storytelling. And that's not to say that it's not, you know, from a true place somewhere, somehow, but for me, it was just a story, so I enjoyed it. Yeah, he is posing for the calendar. Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate that. I appreciate you. That I'm glad that you enjoyed it. That's really all it's for. It doesn't matter, you know. I'm glad that you enjoyed it. You know, I heard a story from a buddy of mine, and this is, I don't want to get into too long of a boring story for you, but if you go back to the origins of our channel, like way back in the day, I did not plan on this, but this guy wrote me and he told me this fascinating story. And I said, you know, I'd like to tell this story, but I'd like to like interject some Bigfoot style booze into the story and just have a beer and tell the story. So if you go back to the very beginning of our channel, you're going to find a story called the Indiana Foot Chase. And that guy did not want to be identified during the story because he said he had been ridiculed too much. And I said, fine. I said, but I'm going to tell your story and I'll tell it anonymously. And I did. And I love that video. Like I said, it was our first, you know. And he recently contacted me and told me that he's back out in the woods. He's been researching again. And recently he found, in the woods, he found a pile of berries. And not necessarily a pile like a stack, but like he said it looked like somebody had a handful of berries and they dropped them. And then they ran. And he said, you know, I'm out here in the middle of the woods. You know, he goes, there's no one out here. And I thought, like, how fascinating is that? Like, how cool. What led to those events that you find a pile of berries in the woods? And I was like, that has to be a Sasquatch. They had a handful of berries, and for whatever reason, they dropped them and ran. You know? Yeah, welcome, Australian cryptozoology tribe. You should have been here earlier for our whole story about yowies and thylacines. Yeah, that guy, I think in that video, I believe I told the county that he was from, but I didn't want to get too into it because he was really weird about telling the story, so I don't want to blow him up, you know, but let's see, where was that picture from? I don't know if you're familiar with Brad Kidd or not, but he's an Australian. I don't want to be too cheesy and say bloke, but I believe that's what you might refer to him as. Here he is. Nope, not that one. Damn it. I'm getting to the point where I have too many uncategorized pictures, so I can't really find stuff when I want to find it. You know. Not to mention, 80% of these pictures look like a tree. Nope. Can't find it. Now, you've probably already seen the picture I'm referring to then. Yeah, we feature Brad on this channel quite a bit, like at least every other video. He's got some good stuff. Well, Mr. Midwest, if you shared your story in text form, you may hear it as a story on the channel. I've been hoping to like start a little series where we tell people stories, but those really come few and far between, if I'm honest with you. You know, Monty, I have not actually reached out to her, excuse me, after that incident. I mean, I am in contact with her as a part of the community, yes. But I have not actually reached out to her and asked her if she's, you know, ready to change her mind if that is the case, you know. But I will tell you this. Being that you are a member of the channel, Mr. Midwest, if you're listening, being that you're a member of our Patreon, I would be willing to send that picture to you personally with your assurance that you will not share it with anyone. You know, you won't share it online or anything crazy like that. But this all goes back to a story a while ago. Adventure Monty had asked me a question. He said, have you ever been shown something that you were sort of sworn to secrecy about, that you couldn't share? And I said, yes, that has happened a couple times. And one of the main times that I remember it happening was when this woman showed me a picture of her window. And in her window, there's like 10 faces in her window. And she says that they are Sasquatch looking in her window at her. And the picture is just freaking fascinating. It's mind-blowing. So I'm not allowed to share it as far as I know because I want to keep that trust. But like I said, for you guys that support my channel, that are members of Patreon, etc., I would be willing to share that with you on a personal level. Well, the funny thing is, like, I feel like, again, her share was semi-public. So I was not the only person that saw it, you know? And I would never just, like, put it out in public like that. Like, she asked me not to, so I'm not going to. That's the way it is. It's over. It's dead to me. But the photo is so compelling that I'm like, I have the urge to tell people about it. So anyway, like I said, I feel like I can trust you guys, you know, so if not you, then who? So I would be willing to share that picture. But yeah, I'll arrange that. Maybe tomorrow, in the next couple days, I'll get that picture out to you guys. And then, like I said, you just keep it to yourselves and see how freaking fascinating it is. And we won't tell anybody about it. You know, I thought I sent myself a picture tonight. Let me go check it out. Let me see. So You guys will appreciate this. Um, Doing what I do, you know, I like to ask people for their permission before sharing their pictures, right? I might get it out tonight, Monty. Just let me see. I might get it out tonight. Anyway, so when you post a picture on Facebook, it now belongs to the Facebook community. It's like socialism. When you put it out there in the world into Facebook, you no longer have copyright rights to it unless you have previously copyrighted the picture. So, no, that was a supposed Jersey Devil. Hang on, guys. I'll get back to that subject in just a second. Shit. Where is it? Goes here. I was scrolling here. I don't think it's real anyway, but that's neither here nor there, really. But one day I'll have a real YouTube channel, and this will all be streamlined. Oh man, I just had that picture. Where the hell did it go? Don't ask about any of these pictures, by the way. I'm trying to find the other picture. Oh, there it is. Wait, where'd you go? Where'd you go? Damn it. That one, right there. That's what you're asking me about. Okay, there you go. It's supposed to be a Jersey Devil. I don't know. Go ahead and feast your eyes on it. Stop it, Bobby. Look, I already told you. All right, what were we talking about before the whole Jersey Devil fiasco? The picture. Yeah, okay. I remember. So, when you post a picture on Facebook, it belongs to Facebook, right? So, I can then take any of those pictures and I can do anything I want with them. I can make them my profile picture. I can put them on these videos. I can do anything I want. But I try not to be a dick, right? So I try to ask the people that post pictures, like, hey, would you be interested in being featured in our video and showcased and et cetera, right? Most people say yes. This guy last week says, hey, this is America, Jack, so shoot me a number and we'll work out a deal for the picture that you want to use. This guy actually thinks that I'm going to pay him money to use a picture that he posted on Facebook in one of these videos. Understand that the videos that I post make anywhere from, I don't know, $30 to $50 on a good day. YouTube margins are very low. So this guy actually thinks that I'm going to shoot him, I don't know. Like, I didn't even throw out an offer. I mean, like $100 bill just to use this very... And it's a decent picture. It's okay. It's great. I like it. But it's not like, oh my God, I got to have this picture. And even if I did pay him, I still wouldn't have copyrights to it. So I was just like, I was pinching my nose like, oh my God, this guy, like he thinks I'm gonna pay him money to use this picture. So chances are, unless you have a perfectly clear, picture perfect picture of Sasquatch, you know, that you can run off to Getty Images and sell, you're probably not gonna make any money on that blurry ass picture that you took of a Sasquatch. Yeah, 10%. 10%. I'm gonna PayPal you $3. It's not that great of a picture, frankly. It really is not. It's just okay. I'll send you guys that as bonus content. All right. I have an issue with the mic here. Okay. It just sent him a bill for the picture, like, yeah, like given the time it took and the, you know, the conditions. I had to pay utilities for the building that I was in, you know, just yeah. So it's a 50-gallon drum, and what it is, it's called a bear bait trap. They bait these bears to come in and dig food out of the 50-gallon drum. And if you look at it real close, the drum is like chained to a tree. This is a black bear. But it's very unfortunate the way it's positioned. It looks like a Sasquatch. But it ain't. Yeah, no, it's definitely not a Sasquatch. We get that. This picture still haunts me. To this day. I want to call this like the inside of a hollowed out tree. But the facial features are so strong. I almost think it's photoshopped. This is an old picture though. This is way before AI. Monty, Arby's is good, bro. Don't judge that, dude. Like I'll mess up like you ever had the Arby's Wagyu burger, and like some jalapeno poppers and some fries. Arby's is good, bro. Yeah, I think what they did was, see, this is obviously like a hollowed out tree, right? And this is the moss and stuff growing on the inside of the tree. I think they added the head to it in Photoshop. Like they took these textures and they just added like, you know, brows there and like whatever. Because imagine this would like, imagine there's no head here. This is nothing but a hollowed out tree with moss on it. Or is Sasquatch that great at hiding? See, there's never a definitive answer. I already have a black bear figure in the middle, bro. Like, I'm good. I might as well enjoy Arby's. Get one of those vanilla shakes. Yeah, I'm the guy that came out and said it was a burnt out stump. It was me. I like this picture. I think this is real. I don't have a great reason to say that that's photoshopped, other than it's a weird mix. It's like a stump or a Bigfoot, and I think it's photoshopped. So, Monty, not really. What I do though is if I get a picture where the face, I can see the facial features, but they're like weak, I will change the contrast and lighting to accentuate the facial features. So I would say yes to your question, but also no. Mr. Midwest, I am always interested. Please send me anything you want to bigfootinput@gmail.com. Thank you for joining us as always, sir, and thank you for the donation. I appreciate it. Great to talk to you. Canman, hello. Yes. All right, boys. It is 1:15 a.m. EST. So I'm going to give you one last shot to ask me any random questions that you may have about anything, and I'll do my best to answer your questions, but I will be shutting it down here momentarily because there's a hot pocket with my name on it, and tomorrow I'm off tomorrow, so I'm gonna make some cool new videos. Shoot. Let's hear it. I appreciate that, Tommy boy. I really do. All right. Jesus Christ, Monty. All right, fine. You want to get into it? Let's do it. So, can open, worms everywhere. Here's the thing about not finding a body. First of all, that's not a fair statement. We very possibly may have found bodies numerous times, but they're not supported by science. All right. Also, rarely will you find an apex predator's body in the woods. Bears, whatever, lions. They don't want to make themselves prey, so they go off to die. Bigfoot may be a subterranean creature. Therefore, there could be cave systems full of Bigfoot bones. If you ever watch one of those time-lapse videos of, like, say, a deer dying in the woods, the bones are scattered very quickly by prey, or, by predators, which at that point are not really predatory animals, but they are still like ants. They're considered predators. So the bones get scattered. We also don't know enough about the Bigfoot culture to know, maybe they bury their dead. They eat their dead. We don't know. So that is a broad question with numerous answers, and that's the best I can do for you. I'm glad you made it, Monty. I really am. Thank you, Tommy boy. Send those videos on. Is Bigfoot a male or a female? Both. I am ready for your question, Can Man. Yeah, is Bigfoot a male or female? Both. It's just like any other species, like bear, like deer, moose, elk, whatever. There are male Bigfoots and there are female Bigfoots. Okay. Yeah, well, Mitch Hedberg said that's the problem, is that Bigfoot is blurry. There's a large out of focus creature roaming the countryside, and that's really scary. Look at that. Look at that big boy. Look at him. That's Bigfoot world. Yeah, I'm a big fan of Mitch Hedberg. Oh, skinwalkers. I get tired of that subject because anything can be a skinwalker. When you talk about an ancient Native American shaman that was shunned from the community for whatever reason, whatever atrocities, that has now become banished to the spirit world. Man, just anything can be defined as a skinwalker. Yep, rakes. Before I go, think about rakes as feral humans. Every rake creature you've ever heard of, think about that as humans that were left out in the woods or cave systems to fend for themselves, that have now uh, adapted human qualities, like, or subhuman qualities, whatever, like, like echolocation and things like that. So think about rakes being feral humans. Yes, he was. I have the feeling that you mean something else, Monty, but caves, fuck the world. Like, for the win. That's what you mean. For the win. Okay, I get it now. I get it. Yeah, so like totally Bigfoot are family oriented. I think they raise their young to a certain age. I don't know what the age is. And then the young will go out on their own to create other colonies. But I think those colonies are still tightly knit. But you have to consider that it's like lions. They go off to make their own pride, and then those prides will compete with each other over food. So that's what it really comes down to, is food. Tommy Boy, thank you so much for joining. Thank you for the donation. I appreciate that very much. And we will see you soon. Monty, thank you for dropping by. Thank you for being a member of our channel. And don't get humped by that dog, man. Don't let him. No. Show him who's boss. Bigfoot and Sasquatch are the same thing. Different words. Grassman, same thing. Just a different nomenclature. Well, yeah, like, it just depends on the environment. Like, Florida has a lot of swamps, and we call them skunk apes. So I know in Ohio it's a swampy area. So they call him the grass man, and it's the same thing, same creature. Good night, brother. Have a good night. I'm not sure what you mean about making the Sasquatch white, although there are all albino Sasquatch, and a lot of times they are depicted that way in snowy environments, which